cream, cool whip, mad cream, mad cream, mad cream, mad cream. Laid back, smooth shit, mad cream, cool whip. Game in the pocket when I strike like a cool stick. Go ahead, chalk it up to a real nigga. I'm throwing dollars in the air, how you feel, nigga? Hey yo, I'm laxing. I'm either blowing backs out or breaking backs in. Laid back, tryna poly with my faction. Strippers getting blasted, pussy popping like a Mac 10. Yeah, I got some dollars saved, I'ma splurge with them. She got some tight curves, I'm finna merge with them. Put your fingers up, flip a bird with them. Spit that flame though, make you a bird victim.
Here with Ganem the Poet. This is Ghetto Geek TV. I'm sitting here with my man Bakari JB. What's going on, brother?
Coolin', man, living.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, what was your first experience with hip hop? Like first song, first thing that drew you towards it?
I think one of my first memorable hip hop experiences is probably, it might even be a reggae kind of joint. It was somebody gave me, I was at a party with my pops. I was like a little kid, and somebody gave me a Grand Poobah CD, and it had the 3 tracks. It was a single, so it had 3 tracks on it. It had the song, and the instrumental version of it, and the edited version of it. And so I took that home, and it was reggae, but he was rapping on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, and then it had the instrumental on there, so I could try to mess around too. That was an ill hip hop experience, but I really got into probably the most influential rap when I got a little bit older, and some of my kind of older brother type figures, you know what I'm saying, were they were really into they used to listen to Tupac and Nas all day long. So and that was my first time really hearing those dudes, and that it kind of made me realize that I missed out. All I knew was kind of radio songs, radio rap, but that was a real introduction and eye-opening hip hop experience for me. So that was it. I was probably 13, 12, well, probably 11, 12 when that hit. I was younger when I got that Grand Poobah.
Yeah. And then you just got drawn. It drew you in listening to Tupac more so than the radio and everything.
Oh hell yeah, because it's well, my pops is a jazz musician, so music is just it's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's
dope. So compared, from listening to radio and listening to Tupac, it clearly was a different mindset, different lyrics, different beats.
Oh yeah. I think a big part of it for me is the fact that most artists' radio music, and I'm fair to say we'll probably agree that radio is different now than it was then. But just in general, a lot of artists' radio music is not the same as the rest of their album music, or maybe it's not the most defining of them. You know what I mean? It's just a piece of them. It's just a part of what they can actually bring to the table, and it's something that sometimes in some way, shape, or form has to be altered or catered to fit
an audience.
And that for whatever particular demographic is playing that consists of that radio station or that TV show, BET or MTV or whomever, is going to be that consumer. So they're picking the song that most associates to everybody, whereas the rest of their 11 songs might be different things. You see what I'm saying? That appeal to different parts of them or different people. So in order to understand an artist, I've started to, kind of stop looking at just what I see on the surface and more so, analyzing people. Now I like to even listen to people's projects multiple times.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, the first time you're hearing it, you don't know it. So it's different. You know what I'm saying? This gifts and curses to the fact that people hear a song on the radio and then be like, I don't like
it. Right off. There's certain people, I listen to a track and I'm just like, I ain't never messing with that dude. I ain't buying a CD. I ain't listening to his track. But it's that's, you throw the little piece of you out there for the public and you hope that brings people in to check out the rest of your music. So it has to be different. It can't necessarily be.
Exactly.
And I think, I always thought it was funny when people are how I feel towards certain artists, but people are that radio garbage, but you're trying to get it out to a bigger audience or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can't just throw like some of your personal stuff, like a really deep meaning track on the radio, because not everybody's gonna get it.
And sometimes people turn off to that. One of my favorite songs that hit the radio was so it was a kind of like a mashup, if you will. They like put Tupac and Biggie on the same song. It was that I think Eminem made the beat.
That Running song.
Running. That's the joint.
The one that came out like a couple of years ago. That was long after they passed away.
Yeah, they passed. But I liked it. I thought it was dope. I thought what they had to say was dope. I just liked the track. I liked the beat. I liked everything. And then like I just remember some friends being like, "Oh, I can't stand this song," and I was just like, because at first they liked it, but then like after a while they were like, "Oh, I don't really want to hear the song." But I'm like, y'all are the same people who like, y'all hear a song on the radio, and you ever try to put somebody onto an artist, you should listen to this, and then listen to it, but then a radio play it 3 or 4 times, and then they be like, that's my jam.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I'm like, all right, y'all are just kind of, sometimes people are sheeple.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
But that's okay, and I understand the nature of the game, so it's like,
follow just the popularity and whatever's, hot at the moment. Yeah.
So I don't stress it too much, and I don't judge artists too much on solely on what I hear on the radio, because I know that some guys bring them onto the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain artists that throw out a song and they even say like, "Oh, I don't even like it," but it's whatever the record label, their people are saying like, "This is the track that needs to go out," blah blah blah, and you try to hit everything else on your album. So.
Now that's something I have mixed feelings about. I understand that artists have to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I definitely understand that. But I feel like you should like your music, and so I think that is like, I think that that's a problem that somebody should be trying to solve for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to judge what people have to do to eat. Because at the end of the day, if you got to take care of home and take care of family, whatever, you got to do what you got to do. But I definitely like, from the perspective that I come from, like I'm passionate about the music that I make. So, and not every song that I've made do I like. You know what I'm saying? Like but
you're in the moment,
right? But and at least now I'm the king of my own castle, because I don't have anybody that tells me I have to do this by this time and whatever. But you should like the music that you make. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you don't, like, that's a representation of you. And there's always people who want to take the stuff that you do and throw it back in your face and judge how you've done it, even when you do love it. So when you don't like it, it only kind of it validates people who are here to criticize the quote unquote negatives that you produce. So.
Have you ever had music on the radio? Your music on the radio?
Locally, yes.
How did you go about determining what song you choose for the radio?
Demographic of radio stations, like, you know what I mean. So I've been asked, what kind of rapper are you? Like, that's like a question that, honestly, it's a question that I kind of struggle with, if you will, and I probably should, like, a good friend of mine, brother D Loops, like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out D Loops.
Good dude, very intelligent, wise, talented dude, you know what I'm saying? He basically told me I need to be able to answer these questions in like 2 sentences, because if I don't, then I don't really know the answer, you know what I'm saying, like crisply and sharply. So and I still struggle with that. But like, to ask me what kind of rapper I am, I don't box myself, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm able to make a wide variety of songs and work with a wide variety of artists, and that's the type of artist that I am. I'm definitely introspective. I'm definitely lyrical. Those are the ways I would define myself. But I don't feel like my music is limited to that. But I feel like people want you to be like, oh, I rap like Talib Kweli, or I rap like 2 Chainz. Like, they want to know, hey, which box can I fit you in? When in reality, I can do a song with I can do a song with either or. You know what I mean? And sound right at home. You know what I'm saying? So, radio stations. I kind of listen to what they like to play, or, you can sometimes tell who follows them or who's into them. And, you're going to get a song that I feel like you would like to play, rather than, me giving you a song that you're not going to play it because you're like, okay, this isn't my... I send stuff into 94.5 and stuff like that, and they haven't played my music to my knowledge. Like I've sent stuff to Launchpad and all that type of stuff. And I'm sure they get a lot of submissions, but also it just may not be the type of songs that that they're looking to play. So at the end of the day, I would only be doing myself a disservice if I try to send everybody the same kind of songs. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't go in with you don't go into making a song with the conscious effort of this being a radio song or this being a club song. Is that ever a thought process going into making a particular record?
Nah, it hasn't been thus far. Instrumentals, like you know what I mean. Like I used to be the type of dude that could write a rap like without a beat. Somewhere along the lines, I've changed. I mean, I can still do it, but like I don't do it. Like
you want to see where the beat takes you.
Yeah, like 9 times that's me now. So I'm listening to it
and like whatever image gets painted, you're gonna roll with it.
Yeah. So on that note, the canvas is there, and then I'm like, okay, cool. How can I do something, unique, different, or at least different for me? I like to challenge myself. I don't want to rap the same way on everything because I'll get bored. If I'm bored, you're gonna be bored listening to me. So that's a part of the creative process, and so I like a wide variety of beats. Like I said, I'm an introspective cat, but at the same time, I don't want to be, all right, now on this song, I gotta break down the universe. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to have a message there still if I could, but sometimes I hear a fun beat, and if I hear a fun beat, I want to have fun on it because there's times that I listen to music where I just want to have fun, and so I can understand that. Yeah,
it doesn't need to be lyrical.
I mean, I still like to make it lyrical, like in what I mean? Yeah, but in terms of having fun, but it doesn't have to. You don't have to like when you're listening to music, you're like,
let me think of that metaphor. Like, where's he going with that? Oh, there's that underlining. Yeah. Oh, I got it now. You know what I mean?
So, on that note, I like to have fun sometimes on some of my songs. Like, we got Sasquatch, we got, Laid Back Smooth. Like, I think those are kind of just, like, cool, more fun songs where it's like, it's not about, reviewing the world and, everything else. It's just like, you can listen to this if you're in the mood to just, kick back and have some fun or get amplified and have some fun. You know what I mean? And that stems from the instrumentals themselves. So, that's the process. Now, during that process, if I'm like, this beat, I could hear this beat on the radio. I could hear, somebody playing this on the radio. Then like certain components of that do go into it because maybe you're just like, okay, maybe less swearing. You know what I'm saying, or something like that, or you know what I mean? Because or like let's keep the hook simple because we know that I'm gonna want to get the crowd involved, or if I want when people listen to this that they can learn it quickly. You know what I mean? Stuff like that does come into play. So I like to a degree, I'm sure that that's affecting quote unquote radio value of the song. But I don't be like I gotta make something that 94.5 would want to play, or I gotta make something for Hot 97, or I gotta break up y'all equipment assemble. Balancing act.
Yeah.
Balancing act 2. Shout out to Zed Gray.
Yeah. What was your first experience in a professional studio? Like, how'd you feel going in there? And did you go in there ahead of time with the rap already written, or did you have to sit down and like a group of people listen to the beat, write it, record it, big bang boom?
A professional studio. This is funny because I don't know that I particularly remember, and I know I've been to a lot of studios that were professional, so. That's just funny altogether. But I don't know. Yeah, I really I used to record at my man's spot, my man Nico, Joey Gio. So it was at his crib, in his mom's basement and stuff. But but to keep it real, that was probably one of the best places I've ever recorded. But that was super comfortable, and that was the homie, so that was on the low money wise, but. In other studio stuff, I don't like to write in the studio. I hate the concept of that because time is money. Yeah. And so we go to the studio, we're gonna be in the studio from 8 to 8, right? So we got a 12-hour block. And I'm like, all right, cool, what you trying to do? And we're gonna go in there and we're gonna lay a couple tracks. I'm like, all right, word. and I go in there, and then it's 8. You know, cats are strolling in at 8:35, blah, blah, blah. You know, they got drink or smoke or whatever they gonna do. They rolling up. Okay, all right, we'll put the beat on. They putting beats on. Like now, they passing around notebooks and we writing. And I'm
You're
just
paying
like,
for the time, right?
Yeah, like, cause I'm like, yo, we got a 12-hour block, but we don't have any rhymes. So like, we could have had 12 hours worth of rhymes.
And then gone in there and
knocked it out,
exactly.
knocked out as much as we could. Went through the tracks like. Why are we 12-hour blocking? And in the end, we finished 2 songs because, you see what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, I have a different philosophy on it. Yep. What works for others, you know what I'm saying, may not be what works for me, but I keep it real. I don't have the money to to splurge in that way. I prefer to
I like going, I like going ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like if somebody asks for a collab, I like having it ready. So when I step in, it's...
And then you perform it differently, too, when you know something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, at least I do. Like
you have a concept of it. You have a grasp of, you know, the whole thing about like, for me being a poet, like I have to memorize it to have, you know, to be able to hit certain points in it, or I'm just going to be monotone. Like,
delivery. Like, you know, and these are, honestly, it's funny that we're talking about these things. These are personal things that I work on, like in my music every day. Like, how do I can have a message, but how do I convey it with tone? How do I convey it with, you know, with volume? Like, do I need to be subtle here? It's one thing to write it. It's another thing to make somebody feel it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I work on that every day. That's one of the biggest, like, criticisms that I've had from people over the years was just like, you know, like, you don't do it with aggression. And I'm like, all right, you know, or people will say that I'm monotone and I'm like, all right, bet. I need to, you know what I mean? I need to address this. I need to channel
some anger,
whatever I need to
attack
people to convey it. But the pieces that I've done the most, I do the best because every time I do it, you know what I mean? I'm adding, you know, there's an added element of like an understanding of, you know, okay, people react here. You know what I'm saying? So I need to get them ready for this point where they can react, and I can't do that if we got a 12-hour block and I just wrote it. You know what I'm saying?
How's it feel on some of the, I've seen you pop up on a couple of local lists over the years. What's the type of feeling when, you know, somebody hits you up like, yo man, you in the top 25, I see you.
Yo, that's honestly, it's a cool feeling. Like,
getting recognition for how it works. Yeah, how much work goes into it, you know?
Yeah, it's a good look. I mean, so how this whole thing kind of started was Scope representatives that do the B's and Threes blog. They did a joint last year, 2013 wrap up, where they, you know, took 25 Boston hip hop projects and, you know, they spotlighted them. And I had an EP out that was literally just 6 songs that just kind of like freestyle over old beats. I threw it up because I didn't have any musical representation online, and people would come up to me
like, yo, where can I get you?
You know, where can I hear your music? Oh, da 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 da. Do you have a card? Do you have, you know, a CD? And I had nothing. Any music online? No. And I'm like, it's free to put your music online, basically. So I'm like, you don't have any excuses not to have any music online. So I did. I threw something up there, and I didn't know it was on any kind of radars from anybody. So, you know, when I made that list, I was number 20, and you know, I was fine with that because I was like, yo, I was putting it up, and I didn't think, you know what I mean, and then I looked and I listened. So I mean, I might be a different individual, but I listened to everybody on the list. Some people I had heard of, some people I hadn't heard of, but I listened to everybody, and I agree with my placement on the list. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't. You know, your friends will be like, "Oh, you should have been high. You should have been number 1."
Definitely.
I'm like, I think you're a little biased, but,
hey,
but thank you. But yeah. So I'm just like, I agree with it. It was 6 songs. Other people had full-on projects. They had features. They had solid joints, and I'm just like, I'm playing this stuff every day in my CD player. And you talking about I need to be number 1. I'm like, I need to, you know, really work hard and craft a good project. So. I did. I worked over the course of, you know, this year to put out my first album, Fear and Desire, www.bakarijb.com. You can check that out. Shameless plug. But Yeah, so I created that album. I put it out, and Lindsey Gamble does the Heart in the Paint blog, and I saw some stuff pop up on there, and you know what I'm saying, and so B's and Threes did another one recently, and I popped up, and I was within the top 10 on that same top 25. So and I like it.
I gotta say something about you. You support, and you right up front.
I try.
Every event, I see you out at a lot of events, and every one you're up there rocking with the person that's up there, and that's beautiful. And I don't think as a city, a lot of people are willing to do that. Not that they, I bet you they have it inside somewhere, but there's like this wall of, I don't want to look like I'm supporting too much or whatever. And I see you show like a lot of people love.
I think it's I think it was literally just a philosophy for me. I'm in the process of trying to train myself to do things better. Just as many things as I can in my life and in as many platforms. I do want to get better. Period. Just all around. So when I made the decision to start the music movement, I asked myself a couple of questions, and I just was like, all right, what do I want to do, like musically? How do I want to present myself? I have like a million rap names, like Y Jizza, they know me as Yon Beezy. Like my first rap name was Enemy Zappa. This is like back at Boston Latin School. I'm in 7th grade. You know what I mean? But I had tons of rap names. Y hyphen. So I needed to define myself, pick something that fit me, was honest and true to me, that everybody else didn't have on YouTube. When I Google it, it didn't come up as something retarded. I'm like, okay, let me figure this all out. And so when I did, a part of that experience was me looking to self and saying, all right, also what do I want to do as a Boston hip hop artist? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be limited to Boston, but while I am doing whatever I'm doing in Boston, I still want to expand. I want to network. I want to build with people who that are like-minded people, and also people who are very talented. If you're not as talented as I am, or maybe as somebody that I would want to work with, that doesn't make you any less than me. So I look at these people who are out here giving it what they got every day, and I'm just like, yo, you're doing the same thing as me. Like we're in the same boat. So at the end of the day, I'll support everybody as long as I respect you on a personal level, you know what I'm saying, and you're not just detrimental to the cause of life, but overall, you know what I'm saying, I'm listening, I'm supporting, I'm a fan of music, I'm a fan of energy. I might not like your bars, but I might like your energy. You know what I'm saying? I might not like your energy, but I might like your grind. You might work mad hard, there's something about people that I can respect, so I look for that. And if I can find that, you know what I'm saying, that's the driving factor for me to support anybody, because everybody wants you to click on their link, share it, like it, favorite it, do this with it. Did you read this? Did you see that? Did you buy my joint? Did you come to my show? But not everybody does those things. You see what I'm saying? Who gives back? Right, you know what I mean? So when they say it's cliche, but be the change that you want to see. So I'm like, if I want you to support me, then. Or if I don't want you talking during my set, then when you're on stage, why am I in the back? And then when I get on stage, I'll be like, yo, everybody, shh, be quiet. About to spit. Ain't trying to hear that. So, I try. I do what I can, but.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate that. And where do you see yourself musically in 5 years from now?
My goal is to basically tour the world doing music. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'll be signed, unsigned. I plan, but I also don't, plan too hard, because I feel like trying to be signed is that's its own task. You know what I mean? I want to work myself up to a point where I have a fan base or a group of supporters in the world large enough to sustain. If I can go from city to city and put 100 people in a venue, you know what I mean, off the strength of my name, then that means I can eat. You know what I'm saying? And then if I can eat if I can make 40K a year doing music, to me that's the starting point for success. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, unfortunately I don't know exactly how long that will take. That could take 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, hopefully in 5 years I'm even further than that. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to build, but that's kind of my starting point. That's why I wanna how I wanna go about it.
Well, what's the legacy you want to leave behind with your music? Like when people look and they're like, yo, Bakari, his music is what?
The greatest.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Nah, but that's an arbitrary, you know, feeling or list or whatever. But I don't know. I definitely want people to feel or know that it was honest, that it was, you know, genuine, and that, you know what I mean, that they were able to take something from it. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to be considered, you know, great, or, you know, one of the best, or somebody who you like would love to listen to or love to share. Like, I love when I hear somebody and I'm compelled to be like, yo, have you heard this person? Like so if I'm that type of individual for you, like, I feel like that is, you know, a part of the legacy. But again, lists are arbitrary and lists are funny money. Some people ain't gonna be considered great until they die, or whatever. If you say certain names, everybody wanna yell at you. It doesn't matter to me if you like, oh, Bakari JB was one of the top 5. Like, that's ill if I'm in your top 5. But I just wanna be somebody who's legitimately worthwhile to listen to, and I'd like to have a catalog that, you know, can stand the test of time. A lot of times, you know, you got your Jay Dillas and stuff like that, like people who people get more love and more respect sometimes after they pass away than they do, like, people
don't appreciate it when they have it, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, he passes, and then they dig in the crates and like, wow, this
can't believe, but
he was a magician with this stuff, like,
you know
crazy.
So, you know.
Now, where can we find your music? I know you already gave it a little shameless plug, but you got to do it again.
Okay, nah, that's easy. So we got these
greatest business card I've ever seen. I need mine.
Shout out to Clavis Barrett, man. So Clavis B Art, he did the artwork on this, and he also did the artwork on my album cover. We've gone through both of those at one time, 2 times,
breaking everything.
3rd time, charm. Well, yeah, Fear and Desire. This is the album.
Unbelievable album.
Thank you kindly, sir. So www.bakarijb.com, BAKARIJB.com. You can find everything on there, and you know, I'm on SoundCloud, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. On Facebook and Twitter and SoundCloud, it's Bakari JB Music. So BAKARIJB Music. SoundCloud is actually just Bakari JB. So, but all can be found through the website, and people can feel free to email me, let me know how they feel about the music. There's 17 joints on here. It features everybody on here is from Boston, actually, except the last poet, Marlon Carey.
Who's a beast.
Yeah.
Shout out Marlon, man.
Yeah, so, you know, there's
much respect.
Quality people on here. We got, you know, April Stanford's on here, Wazir Gray is on here, Melissa Green, and, you know, just a ton of other, you know, C-Rock Smooth is on here, Catch Wreck, Tech Mike, like, it's solid hip-hop on here and poetry, to be real, and I definitely got to do some stuff with with my brothers, man. I've been slipping, but you know what I'm saying, like Matt Ganem and I will have some things in the works soon. So you know, I'm blessed to be a part of what y'all are doing, honestly, because y'all are spotlighting, you know what I mean, people who I feel should be spotlighted. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some of you guys' interviews, and it's just dope.
So now we're going to close it out with a Hot 16. This is Matt Ganem the Poet for Ghetto Geek TV.
Yeah. I let the music move me through the loose leaf on a new beat. I unleash fire, contact the crew chief and tell Houston we got a problem. The lyrical James Harden performing nightly like the truth at the garden. Get me a bowl of Cheerios as I expose these silly hoes sweeter than the lollipop and suckers in the videos. I won't go for too long, I leave room in the green room, killing these flows, marine doom. I've been whole mind frames, nigga who needs spoons with luggage. I trip on my 2 feet, who needs shrooms. Cut a hole in your theory, cause I'm a musketeer. I got one shot at the public ear, so I'ma keep my musket near. Chamber loaded, change the game and then expose the first nigga to spit a flame so blue you think that he froze it. Center of attention, y'all caught in my moment, cross the line. I gotta snap on niggas, flash on pros.
It's heavy from my city, I show love to every artist. I feel y'all riding with me, so what up? 617, it's time to get that evergreen. I'm lobbying for niggas like I'm spitting in the mezzanine. Your city never sleep, you think we'd have better dreams. I'ma bring mines to life, I put that on. The first time I heard Nas and shit, I probably lost consciousness. Bouncing the basketball off the wall in my auntie crib in New York undercovers. Watching New York undercovers turn me to a bulldog. I feel I should've went to Butler. Suffocate the beat, not a producer getting smothered. Top over the field, I make it rain, I got it covered. SI in the gang, I got the strength, I did my numbers. This is the silence of the lambs, I brought the weapon with the muffler. Bakari JB, I suggest you check the Tumblr. Destined to be the best MC that crept up out the gutter since Pops got it poppin'. And I popped up out that rubber and I hold it down. That's word to my mother, cause I love her. Boston.